Major League Baseball welcomes you to the following presentation of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Brewers TV is presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Welcome back to Arizona. It's the Brewers and the Diamondbacks. It's the middle game of this three-game series, an extra inning victory for the Brewers last night. And today we celebrate Independence Day, 250th birthday in essence for the Brewers. Sights and sounds. You got the great caps, the jerseys, all the accoutrements going for the Brewers and the Diamondbacks today as we get ready for this middle game of this series. It'll feature Brandon Woodruff against Merrill Kelly today. The last time Brandon Woodruff made a start in Arizona, it was against Merrill Kelly, but that was back in 2022. Brandon Woodruff making his second start against the Diamondbacks and his first since late April. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Chase Field in downtown Phoenix with Tim Dillard and Sophia Minter down on the field. Jeff Levering with you. Thanks so much for being with us, and happy 4th of July to everybody. No hot dog eating contest up here, but a lot of all-stars for the Brewers. They've got two of them, Jacob Misiorowski, William Contreras named to the Midsummer Classic.
Yeah, hey, now you're an all-star again. This is back-to-back years for Misiorowski. 3 out of the last 5 seasons that Contreras has been an all-star, but Misiorowski, I mean, what more can you say about this young man? Last year there was controversy surrounding it, but I think he laid all that to rest on what he's done this season. He has totally earned it. Not sure if he's going to be able to pitch in that thing, but if he has a chance to, he better start it. And then Contreras, look, making an all-star as a catcher 3 times, this is about consistency. This is about staying healthy. This is about putting up numbers, not just at the plate offensively, but behind the dish. Pretty incredible stuff to have a battery from the Brewers represented in the All-Star game.
Oh, certainly deserving. You see the numbers here for Jacob Misiorowski, leading the big leagues, not just an earned run average, strikeouts, a point batting average, pitches over 100 miles an hour. It'd be easier to list the things that he doesn't lead the big leagues in. And for William Contreras, hitting nearly 300 of those 9 home runs and 51 runs batted in. He's also caught 16 runners this year trying to steal bases. Well, it's the Milwaukee Brewers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. One more matchup tomorrow. We got a great matchup today. Brandon Woodruff, Merrill Kelly on Independence Day in Phoenix. Milwaukee Brewers baseball is presented by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. By Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin. By Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. And by J.P. Morgan Chase, reigniting the American dream to expand opportunity nationwide.
For 250 years, America has told its story in many ways. Through great cities and small towns. Through generations that built, served, dreamed, and believed. And for nearly as long, there has been baseball. Passed down from fathers and daughters, mothers and sons. Baseball is truly celebrated from seed to shining sea.
Heads held high, the future is bright. They're truly seeing the best of baseball.
From sandlots and little leagues, the grand cathedrals filled with summer nights and hopeful hearts.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
The game has been there through wars and peace, through triumph and heartbreak, through moments that became memories, and memories that became part of who we are.
What a marvelous moment for baseball. What a marvelous moment for the country and the world.
Because baseball is more than a game. It's a thread that connects generations of Americans. And today, as our nation celebrates 250 years of history, we celebrate something else. The simple joy of a ball, a bat, a field of green grass, and the belief that every game begins with possibility.
I don't believe what I just saw.
Because while America continues to write its story, baseball remains one of the ways we tell it. Happy Independence Day. Welcome to baseball.
Nothing better than being at the ballpark on the 4th of July. And this 4th of July broadcast is brought to you by USAA. America celebrating its 250th year of independence. And the Brewers are on the road in Arizona, taking on the Diamondbacks. So Brandon Woodruff, he'll toe the slab today. Pat Murphy and the Brewers trying to make it 2 in a row against Arizona after an extra inning victory last night. The Brewers are 3-1 so far against Arizona. The starting line today brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bryce Terang's in the leadoff spot. Christian Yelich hit second for the first time this year. Bowers, Contreras, and then Garrett Mitchell in the number 5 spot. He had a whale of a game last night. Could have had 2 3-run homers. Vaughn, Frelick, Pratt, and then Joey Ortiz round out that starting lineup today for the Brewers. Bryce Terang in that top spot, playing for Team USA earlier this year. He's not unfamiliar with wearing the stars and stripes. All-star William Contreras just named to that all-star team earlier today. It'll be his 3rd all-star bid, his 2nd as a member of the Brewers. Baxter, well, donned in the George Washington outfit today, looking sharp for a Bobcat. And he's just waiting for the starting pitcher, Merrill Kelly, to take the mound eventually. The Brewers have seen plenty of Merrill Kelly. Jacob Mizorowski will represent the Brewers for a 2nd consecutive year in the All-Star game. Slightly more experience under his belt this season as opposed to 5 appearances last year before being named to the Midsummer Classic. Certainly deserving for Jacob Mizorowski, leading the league in almost every statistical category. Brewers played a long one last night. Again, 11 innings went the Brewers' way. Ended up winning by a final score of 7-4. Bryce Terang put the finishing touches on Arizona last night with a 2-run single. The Brewers brewered their way to a victory as the Diamondbacks finally take the field behind Merrill Kelly. He'll be making start number 12 in his career against the Brewers.
Yeah, very familiar with this lineup, but they're familiar with him as well. The 37-year-old started out in 2010 as an 8th rounder with the Tampa Bay Rays. This is his 8th season with Arizona. Small stop in Texas last year for 10 starts. ERA in the 1st and 2nd innings is about a 6 and a 7. So for him, it's about, can he get past the first couple of innings? And it hasn't gone well. It's kind of been up and down for him. April, it was a 9 ERA. May was a 3.5 ERA. And June was a 7. But it's been about run support. He has had very little run support to go along with some of his quality starts. But he also has given up 18 home runs. So Brewers going to see a lot of fastballs, a lot of changeups, cutters, sliders, curveballs, sinker. He's a mixologist, and he uses everything he's got.
Brewers walked 5 times against him earlier this year as Chris Guccione is our home plate umpire. He's the crew chief. Nestor Sejas over at first. Charlie Ramos is at second, and David Rackley is at third base. Bryce Terang patiently waiting for his opportunity to go to the plate against Merrill Kelly. And Terang in that leadoff spot again for the Brewers. He's led off 19 times this year. The Brewers are 11-8 in his previous leadoff spots. Tim, let's get into your Miller time game plan.
Yeah, this is swing for the Brewers offense. Merrill Kelly doesn't walk a lot of guys, doesn't strike out a lot of guys. It's about putting the ball in play. And then 6-7, They need Woodruff, I would say, to go about 6 or 7 innings to help out that bullpen after extra innings last night. And I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. That Arizona offense, low on walks, low on strikeouts, and second highest in contact percentage. Hopefully Woodruff can go deep into this ball game.
Bullpen covered 8 1/3 innings last night as Merrill Kelly ready to deliver tonight's first pitch. It's presented by Aurora Healthcare. It's on the way, and it's a strike on the inside corner, and off we go. 98 degrees outside. Very comfortable inside Chase Field. And Terang down in the count, 0-2. Had over 30,000 in the ballpark last night. Would expect similar attendance this evening on the 4th of July. Kelly's 0-2 pitch. Some variant of the fastball is what you'll typically get with Merrill Kelly, flipping a couple of curveballs every now and again. One-two to Terang. Catcher's gear tonight from Adrian Del Castillo is on point. The stars and stripes on the chest protector.
I think you could go around the field and pick out a lot of different amazing looks that both teams have. Enjoying the hats, the catching gear on both sides, the helmets. We saw some interesting spike combinations before the game.
Kudos to all the equipment managers around baseball. 3-2 pitch to Bryce Terang. And he lines it down the left field line. It is a fair ball headed towards the corner. Extra bases for Terang. He leads off this game with a double. Went from 0-2 to 3-2 and then finally got something he could drive.
Well, going back to last night, it was that 2-run single to the left side opposite field. Bryce Terang following that success and bounces down in the corner. Max Kepler, who was not in left field yesterday, finally corrals it in. 19th double of the season for Bryce Terang.
4th hit of the series already. 3 hits last night for Terang, and now Christian Yelich in the number 2 spot for the first time this year. 0 for 4, a couple of walks, and he has had his fair share of tough times against Merrill Kelly. Just 2 for 23 lifetime against Merrill. And takes up high for ball 1.
Yeah, batting under 100. But here's the great thing. You know, I feel like Christian Yelich is going up against a guy that he knows he's going to be careful with him, but at the same time, nothing super overpowering. He's not going to pull out 97 and paint it on the black.
2 balls, no strikes on Yelich. Brewers trying to pick up where they picked off last night in the 11th. They scored 4 times in that 11th inning. It was a 3-3 game from the 3rd inning on last night. Neither starter made it through the 3rd inning.
Yeah, if I'm given a game ball, if I'm given a juice box, it was Chad Patrick. Picked up the entire ball club.
Slow roller to first base. Yelich tagged out by Vargas. He gets Terang over to 3rd. Less than 2 outs. RBI chance for Jake Bauers. And Chad Patrick was phenomenal last night out of the pen.
Yeah, 3 1/3. Didn't give up any runs. He was efficient. 34 pitches to go through 3 1/3 on that. Just shows how aggressive the Diamondbacks lineup was. He definitely took advantage of it. Set the tone to, you know, start lining up guys in the bullpen. And luckily the Brewers end up scoring some runs and were able to hold on for the win.
Jake Bauers in the 3 spot today. 3 for 6 last night, including a double. And he takes outside for ball 1. Bauers 0 for 7 lifetime against Merrill Kelly. There's Chad Patrick. He's hanging out in the dugout today.
I'd be smiling too. Good for him. He probably has a day off.
The team that originally drafted him, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Remember, traded to the Oakland A's and then the A's over to the Brewers for Abraham Toro. 1-1 to Bauers. Hit foul. Chase that high fastball. Bauers, a team leader in home runs with 15. Also leads the club with 52 RBIs. Infield is back, so an RBI chance, hitting a ball on the ground. And he popped it up, foul, and into the seats.
Well, out of everybody on the Brewers roster, I would say him and Contreras about the only guys that don't hit a ton of ground balls. But really, yeah, in this situation, if you just roll over to first, that's going to get a run in.
See that defensive alignment for Arizona in this first inning. And he struck him out. That is not what the Brewers needed in that situation. Runner at third, 2 outs now after the strikeout of Bowers.
After changeup, couple of fastballs, curveball painted down and in.
For a guy who doesn't strike a ton of batters out, just 48 strikeouts now for Merrill Kelly. Now the All-Star for a third time over. Contreras fouls it away. Just named an All-Star team today. Even years he's going to the All-Star game. 22, 24, 26.
2028, book it. Now the consistency of this man is unrivaled.
Popped him up, foul territory. Del Castillo gives it a look, and it's in the second row. Last year it took him some time to get going. William Contreras, he was much better in the second half than in the first half a season ago. He just got out of the gates swinging this year.
Well, it's so hard to stay healthy. It's so hard to stay consistent, which is what this entire game is built around. And maybe he doesn't have the extra base hits like he wants this year, but he's been consistently putting up good at bats.
Trying to get Terang home from third. The 0-2 is a swing and a miss. Can't do it. Brewers had a leadoff double. Stranded at third base. Brandon Woodruff making the start on Independence Day. He toes the slab against Arizona when we come back. Brewers TV presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Back in the desert, and the Brewers unable to clip one against Merrill Kelly. Starting lineup for Arizona: Ketel Marte, one of the best hitters since the middle of June in Major League Baseball. Perdomo, Carroll, Moreno, Del Castillo, Arenado, Kepler, Vargas, and Tommy Troy down in the number 9 spot. They get Brandon Woodruff. Second time that he has started against the Diamondbacks. The last time, the previous start before he went on the injured list.
Yeah, last 2 starts been really good. 11 2/3 innings pitched, just 2 hits, no runs, only 2 walks with 16 strikeouts. He's been filling up the zone, showing all these young bucks. I mean, he's the squad father, right, of this pitching staff, and they're really looking for him to lead, and he's doing that by throwing strikes.
Ketel Marte takes a strike, the bottom of the zone. Marte last night 2 for 5. He's working on a 6-game hitting streak. He has been a thorn in the side of the Brewers over the course of his career. A .350 hitter lifetime against Milwaukee. 0-2 coming, and a ground ball to first base. Played by Vaughn, and that's a good way to start for Brandon Woodruff. Take a look at the defense behind Brandon Woodruff tonight.
Yeah, provided by Landmark Credit Union. Bowers in left, Mitchell in center, Frelick in right, Ortiz, Pratt, Terang, Vaughn around the infield, and the All-Star William Contreras pushing the buttons for Big Woo.
Geraldo Perdomo 0 for 5 in the opener. Joey Ortiz over at third base. He has been a wizard over there. Nice to have 3 shortstops on the field at any given moment for this Brewers defense. Made some great plays at third base at the end of the game last night. Perdomo, switch hitter, hitting from the left side. Yeah, nothing but strength so far from Woodruff.
Yeah, you were talking about the defense last night. One of the biggest plays in the game was a double play between Pratt, Terang, and it was a very interesting. I went back and looked at it 10 or 15 times just to see the way that you flip it to a teammate when you're that close. And Pratt did it and executed perfectly.
0-2 called, third strike and a fastball. Nothing but strikes still from Brandon Woodruff. This is paint right here, Tim.
I mean, not even messing around. I mean, I think Perdomo was like, all right, what are you going to do? And he just said, well, I'm just going to paint down and away. Here's what Brandon Woodruff is doing. He is watching these guys take pitches. He's watching them take swings, and he is adjusting accordingly. He's trying to figure out what they're trying to do instead of just saying, you know what, this is what I'm going to do no matter what the analytics say. He's reading the hitter more than they are reading him.
Sits on the top step of the dugout last night, does his scouting, watches the reactions. Last time out against the Cubs for Woodruff, it was mostly high fastballs where he did the majority of his work. As Carroll pops it up third base side, Ortiz gives it a look. He's out of room. But that's where he has dominated. We've already seen more cutters in this opening inning. They basically threw the entire outing last time against Chicago. He knows this is a very aggressive Diamondbacks offense. They love swinging at the first pitch. 1-1 to Carroll.
Well, over the course of the season, they're actually not very aggressive on first pitch. It's only been recently, and especially this man, Corbin Carroll. He is the top first pitch swinger on this entire roster. And I think he's just been free swinging as of late, trying to break out of whatever he's been in.
Brandon Woodruff falling behind Corbin Carroll. He was named an All-Star earlier today, his third overall All-Star bid for Corbin Carroll. Careful here on 3-1. Swing and a miss at that high fastball. Cleanup hitter Gabriel Moreno on deck. Looking for a quick and easy inning, Brandon Woodruff. And he lost Carroll. So a 2-out walk. Brandon Woodruff, his last 2 appearances, just 2 walks, no runs, 2 hits is all, and has not given up a single run.
Comes back to getting ahead. He's about 70% first pitch strike. So every at bat, he's basically dictating, all right, choose your own adventure story. I'm ahead of you. I can go in different places. Mix that with the experience of reading these swings is what made him so lethal.
Up and in on ball 1 on Moreno. Carroll will certainly run over there at first base. There's a strike on the corner. Moreno last night, couple of hits, including an RBI. Drove in the first run of the game for Arizona, and then Nolan Arenado with a 2-run double. That was all the runs until the 11th. Got an unearned run against the bullpen. That's up and in as Contreras was trying to signal to Brandon Woodruff to throw over to first base. Carroll was getting jumpy.
Pretty remarkable that Carroll was that far off of first base, and as soon as he started retreating back to first, that's when Woodruff delivered the pitch.
Moreno now even, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
So the game yesterday, the 2 hits for Moreno were in the 4-hole between first and second. This is a guy that gets inside of a lot of pitches, inside outs. Yes, he has his spray chart is all over the field, but even when he is behind in the count, he is looking at the inside part of the ball, hits a lot behind the runner, which you don't see a lot of in today's game, but he's had a lot of success.
And time called by Moreno and granted late by Chris Guccione.
It's a very aggressive time call.
Just want to make sure everybody heard him. Better that than the other way. Get somebody hurt that way. Yeah. 2 away. There's Carroll at first base. That rip foul went in with a changeup. Moreno caught last night. DHs tonight with Del Castillo on deck. Two coming. Foul back again. Challenged him right down the middle. And what could have been a very quick and efficient inning for Brandon Woodruff, that walk has put him backwards. He's nearing that 20 pitch mark.
Yeah, Corbin Carroll spoiled a couple of really good pitches. I think he wants to be careful. I think he knows how dangerous this Arizona Diamondbacks lineup can be, especially top to middle of the order.
2-2 again. And a liner to center field, a base hit. Carroll will turn the corner. He's going to try for third. Here comes the throw. It's all the way through and offline. First and third for Arizona. Two-out uprising from the Diamondbacks, and like you said, Tim, staying inside that baseball for Moreno.
He had to. Sinker down and in. I think Woodruff's thinking he's going to roll over to third base right here, but when you stay inside the baseball, you're able to get behind it and angle it. This one more center field. I'm glad Mitchell came up so aggressive. It was just a little offline. Still first and third.
Del Castillo, a high drive to right, and it's 3-0 Diamondbacks. His 5th home run of the season comes with 2 outs. That's a backbreaker.
So after a couple of long at-bats, Del Castillo goes up with one thing in mind. I'm going to pick out a pitch, and I'm going to get the bat head out, and he does on a cutter. Bottom third, doesn't matter. He sends it up into the bleachers, and he knew it.
For Woodruff, just the 5th home run that he has allowed this year, and the first multi-run homer that he's allowed. Arenado cranks one foul. All this after getting the first 2 outs on 6 pitches.
Well, one thing that pitchers hate is after a lot of long at-bats, 6 pitches, 7 pitches, you get ambushed. You get ambushed for a homer, then you get ambushed on a long foul ball. I bet Woodruff's pretty heated right here.
Popped him up foul. It's 0-2 on Arenado. First year in Arizona for Nolan Arenado after a long time in St. Louis. And back in the National League West. 0-2 fouled again. This is another guy who's not going to take an at-bat lightly.
Only had 1 hit in yesterday's ball game. It was a big one, that 2-run double to left field. It was the only extra base hit for the Diamondbacks yesterday. And I mean, how many times does this guy come up clutch? I mean, if he's doing it against the Brewers, you got to think he's doing it against other teams. But we've seen it now on multiple squads, him coming up with big hits.
0-2. And he skips it in the dirt. Arenado, one of the top hitters ever against the Milwaukee Brewers. He's 1st in slugging, 3rd in runs batted in, amongst active leaders against the Brewers. OPS of nearly 1,002. 1-2. Wave and a miss and a curveball. Arenado's gone. 2nd strikeout of the game for Woodruff, but the damage done. 3-run homer from Adrian Del Castillo.
Pizza Hut.
Garrett Mitchell set to lead things off for the Brewers in the 2nd inning. He's homered in back-to-back ball games, 8 on the season. Opposite field a couple days ago. This one straightaway center last night. Nearly had another 3-run homer, but it was robbed and left by Lourdes Gurriel. Garrett Mitchell takes strike 1 for Merrill Kelly. It's in tight. Mitchell was 8 out of 16 on the last homestand. He's hitting .320 over his last 39 games. It's not just a small sample size of success for Garrett Mitchell. Change up. It's 1-2.
There were a lot of strikeouts early, but you got to remember this guy has been playing sporadically over the last 4 seasons. So now he's trying to settle in and he's figuring out how pitchers are pitching him.
To center field. This one back and caught. Tommy Troy initially broke in, then had to race back. Mitchell gave it a ride, but it won away for Andrew Vaughn. So after the leadoff double from Bryce Terang, 4 straight retired, including a couple of strikeouts from Merrill Kelly. Vaughn, a pinch hitter last night, was 0 for 1. Draws the start today against Kelly. Overall numbers for Vaughn. Been hammering left-handed pitching. One of the best hitters in Major League Baseball against left-handed pitching, but today he's got the righty. Good to see Vaughn in there against a righty.
I think he's definitely earned it. As you can see, he's only batting .280 against righties. I mean, but he did get in that bat against the lefty. It was a fielder's choice and then got pinch run for. That's pretty rare that he doesn't hit, you know, something extra base hit or get a couple of RBIs. But I think what's dangerous about the Brewers lineup is there's a couple of guys in the dugout every single game that should be out there, and eventually they do. I think that kind of versatility is what Pat Murphy really enjoys, putting guys in different positions, and especially with Bauers able to play the outfield. I mean, that kind of stuff really comes into play.
The Brewers have always prided themselves on getting players with versatility. Vaughn, a big cut, fouled it back. Merrill Kelly slowly walking back up the mound, realizing that he got away with one.
Well, to give you an idea of Merrill Kelly, you go back to the Mitchell at bat. Curveball, cutter, changeup, four-seam fastball. That was the at bat.
And he strikes out Vaughn with a curveball. Third strikeout for Merrill Kelly. Now a quick message from Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Potawatomi Sportsbook invited me, John Kuhn, to be their spokesperson. I had to join the team. Yes! Yeah! Potawatomi Sportsbook. Your sport, our stadium.
Sal Frelick digs in. Great month of June for Sal. Started using the opposite field with much more frequency, and with that brought more success. Brewers chasing 3 runs, a 3-run homer in the opening inning from Del Castillo. This one fouled back just to our left. Make a play. Oh, into the radio booth. Was going right at Josh Mauer, and he got his hands on it. He may have fallen down.
I think he fell down. He fell out of his chair.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Oh, he had a shot. Tom Flanagan,
unbelievable,
farm director, over to the side. This is a ground ball to first base. And Sal Frelick is retired. We may have to retire Josh. He's got the ball, but he didn't make the catch. It's okay, Josh.
Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy.
Happy 4th of July from Chase Field. Brewers and Diamondbacks here. And the good news earlier today, in case you missed it, that Jacob Misiorowski and William Contreras are heading to the All-Star game in Philadelphia together. For William Contreras, it is his 3rd nod. For Jacob Misiorowski, of course, his 2nd time. And for Pat Murphy, this is one of the best days to be able to share that news with these players. And when the players acknowledged it earlier today after they got the news, for William Contreras, he said this is a goal that starts in the offseason, right? All of the work that you spend on your body, on making yourself yourself strong, to get yourself ready for the season, and then of course to be as durable as he has been, to perform the way that he has. Thanks, everyone on the team and especially the pitching staff for their work to allow him to have success behind the plate. And then for Jacob Misiorowski, guys, what a turn of events from a year ago when he made his first All-Star game after just 5 games pitched. For 1 month for him in the big leagues, he said, I definitely feel a little bit more prepared this time around, and feels like it's a little validating the way that he came out and performed here in the first half to earn this recognition. He said, I think I proved that it was not a fluke last year. So congratulations to the two of them, William Contreras and Jacob Misiorowski. The Brewers are also hoping that they could get a couple more players, like Bryce Trang, for example. Anything is possible, guys, leading up to the All-Star game.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Yeah, nothing fluky about what Jacob Misiorowski did this year, there's no doubt. As Kepler swings and misses, had a changeup and a strikeout for Woodruff. That's his third. Certainly for the All-Stars this year for the Brewers, Tim, Jacob Misiorowski, and for William Contreras, deserving by leaps and bounds.
What Misiorowski has done is nothing short of incredible. I mean, he took Major League Baseball by storm last year and hasn't let up. In fact, has improved at every turn. And he's had so many big moments already. And then, of course, Contreras, I mean, they don't even take in consideration the buttons he's pushing behind the plate, which I would say Pat Murphy would probably agree at times that may be the most important thing. Because you may have the best offensive catcher in all of baseball, but if he doesn't know what he's doing behind the plate, that's going to cost you big time.
He's thrown out 16 runners this year. Remember when the Brewers acquired him from Atlanta as part of that 3-team deal? It was, okay, we know you can hit, but we're going to have to work with you defensively. He just continues to get better each and every year. Swing and a miss by Vargas. He's down in the count 0-2.
My favorite catchers were the ones that even sometimes when I felt like I was hitting autopilot a little bit, they were not.
Yeah.
So they can tell. And so that's when you see those really hard throws back to the pitcher. He knows when to visit the mound. He knows when to just lob one back to you, when to give you the little glove thing like, hey, good job, good pitch, even if it's a ball. Like that kind of interaction, he does not take a pitch off. I mean, he is so involved with every single facet of the pitcher that nothing gets overlooked.
Vargas breaks his bat, rolls one to Terang. 2 away for Tommy Troy. Now the Brewers certainly have a couple of other options in terms of who could fill in or who may be worthy of being an all-star. Bryce Terang, as Sophia mentioned, certainly. Jake Bauers at first base is having an amazing season, leading the way for a first-place team in homers and RBIs. Look at Kyle Harrison, Aaron Ashby, who leads the big leagues in wins. All deserving candidates.
And I'm sure every team would go around and be like, this guy, this guy, this guy. But honestly, what Jake Bauers has been able to do is nothing short of amazing. Playing every day, facing lefties and righties, playing first, playing outfield. There's not a lot of guys in baseball doing that, also putting up those kind of numbers. And of course, Ashby, you almost want to put him in every single game just because you know you got a good shot at winning. The Brewers have the most wins by relievers in all of baseball, and he has almost half of them.
He's the big leagues. He's got a dozen. 0-2 to Troy. And missed inside with a changeup, maybe a little low too. Tommy Troy, first round pick a couple of years ago out of Stanford. Infielder by trade, but he is in center field for Arizona. Foul back. It's first time seeing Tommy Troy. Watched the game last night. You see his swing. He's got some Paul Goldschmidt in that swing. Just the way he holds the bat and the way he finishes.
Yeah, like the posture and the way he comes through with the kind of short arms it.
1-2 again. And a swing and a foul. Troy got a piece of the curveball. He's hitting .307 down in the minor leagues at the time of his promotion. AAA Reno. Very good hitters environment.
Yeah, just his 34th game in the big leagues. But one thing that does stick out is he chokes up on the bat with 2 strikes. Saw it last night, seeing it again here.
Woodruff again had 2 quick first outs, and now battling with Tommy Troy through a 25-pitch first inning. On the ground to short. Pratt got to get rid of it. Throws out Troy. Inning over. 3 up and 3 down go the D-backs in the second.
Join a special Brewers Alumni Legends game presented by Northwestern Mutual after the game Friday, July 24th. Score a bowling shirt with special tickets and enjoy concession discounts at the game. Grab your tickets and learn more at brewers.com/legendsgame.
You could watch Tim Dillard pitch in that game.
It hasn't been confirmed I'm pitching. I'm just going to fill in when the real players don't want to.
But you're on the Rooster, aren't you?
I am on the Rooster. Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Hard to crack that lineup, too. We'll see what happens.
It's going to be a blast.
That is blasty as that hat right there. It's a good hat.
We'll bring that game to you live on Brewers TV after the regularly scheduled game against the Colorado Rockies. Cooper Pratt digs in, takes ball 1. Have some live interviews. It should be a good time. Pratt takes away. It's 2 balls, no strikes. Pratt trying to get something going against Merrill Kelly. Had a base hit in last night's game after a very successful first week in the big leagues. Cooper Pratt just 2 for his last 29. And a fly ball into right center. Back is Tommy Troy on the warning track to make the catch. Some of the pop that we have heard about from Cooper Pratt. Biggest part of the ballpark there, though, in Arizona.
Yeah, traveled 389 feet. Probably felt like he got it a little bit better. Did have a walk in yesterday's game. Listen, I think he's just adjusting to how pitchers are pitching him. I think early on in the struggles, it was kind of climbing the ladder with the fastball. Last night, it was difficulty with sliders down, but he's just learning.
Number 9 hitter Joey Ortiz. Two 2-0 on Ortiz. Same spot Pratt was in. Ahead in the count. Big swing. Taking some better at bats here of late from Ortiz. Of course, had that big 2-run home run against the Reds. Go ahead homer in the 8th inning. It was the deciding home run. It was back in Monday's game, his 2nd home run of the season.
Well, and you know, he's a guy that really wants to kickstart things, get selfish with his at-bats, and he hasn't been. Last night it was a sac bunt, try to get things going later on in the ball game. Very unselfish player. And, you know, there's a lot of guys that just want their swing. They want their at-bat. They know kind of what they're going to see, and I think we've seen repeatedly where Ortiz does the right thing, hit the ball the right side, get a guy over, the sac bunt, the sac fly, doing the little things.
3-2 liner back up the middle, base hit. Good swing there on that sinker down in the zone. Top of the order coming up with Terang.
Yeah, works a good at bat here. Saw almost everything on the menu, everything in the Rolodex from Merrill Kelly. Picks out this fastball, bottom third, straight up the middle.
109 off the bat of Ortiz, and Terang, who's got the other hit. It was a double to lead off the game in the 1st inning. It's against Merrill Kelly. Terang now 5 out of 11 lifetime. Including a home run against Merrill Kelly. And he lines this one fouled in the left field line.
Well, a guy that's been around a long time, like Merrill Kelly, like I said, 8th season in the big leagues. He gives up a double opposite field to Turang, and then right there on the foul ball, opposite field, he's going to adjust accordingly. If he keeps going away, he's going to be in trouble.
Trying to go in, missed. Something against the Snakes there for Bryce Turang. Last 11 games against Arizona, OPS 1100 plus. And trying to get that cutter in under his hands. 2-1. Opponents in the month of June hit nearly 400 against the fastball of Merrill Kelly. Hasn't thrown the traditional fastball much tonight. Tossed to first, and back with a dive is Ortiz. Close play. Holding things up for a moment to check. Torey Lovullo looking in. Do they challenge? Do they not? They will not. It's Jeff Bannister, their bench coach. 2-1 the count on Bryce Turang. And foul, went away with the sinker.
Well, a couple of things here. Already 2 disengagements for Merrill Kelly. So if he does pick, he's got to get Joey Ortiz. You think Joey Ortiz is going to get a step further. And the other thing is, after a fastball away, if he goes changeup away, it could be a pretty good pitch.
Fouled it away, went curveball in. A similar pitch to it struck out Jake Bauers in the first inning.
I think sometimes when you have so many pitches and so many locations, a lot of times you don't master any of them. That's why you're seeing some big misses, and then all of a sudden he'll come back and paint.
Trying to go in. Turang covered it. Back-to-back curveballs from Merrill Kelly. Diamondbacks had to cover a lot of innings with their bullpen last night.
Yeah, they had 7 relievers go for 6 2/3. That's a lot of innings.
That's towards the middle, and a base hit for Turang. He's 2 for 2. Ortiz puts on the brakes. Tying run coming up with Christian Yelich.
It's a great at bat by Turang. Saw everything. Finally gets something in the zone that's up. Fastball up and in, able to dump it out in the center. Joey had to hold up just in case Troy had a good beat on it. Does get a throw. Draws it over to third, but first and second, just 1 out.
7-game hitting streak now for Bryce Turang. It's his 3rd multi-hit game during the stretch. Yelich an RBI opportunity and then some. Swing and a miss. He was late on that fastball. Good pitch to hit. Ground ball up the middle. Perdomo has 1 play. It's to first. He gets the out on Yelich. Everybody else moves up. Another RBI chance for Jake Bauers.
He had broken his bat on the fastball up and in, but hit it in a perfect spot where the pitcher can't get it, and he only plays at first.
Base hit to the outfield more than likely gets you a couple of runs. As Bauers looking for his first career hit against Kelly. He's 0 for 8 lifetime as Kelly steps off. Buy some more time on that pitch timer. Oh for 3 so far. The Brewers with runners in scoring position as Bauers fouls it away. Check that 0 for 4. Wisconsin Lottery home run leaderboard has Bauers at the top. 3 clear of both Chourio and Turang. Those three the only ones in double figures. Garrett Mitchell climbing the board. 0-1 on Bowers. Struck out on a curveball back in the opening inning. 3 strikeouts at all for Merrill Kelly. He's laid off back-to-back changeups. Swing and a miss. He tripled up on the changeup. Bowers chased that one.
Well, he's conscious of that curveball down and in. He is seeing fastballs up in the zone, up and away.
It's a situation that Bowers has really been successful in this year. Runners in scoring position, 2 outs, 279 average, but an OPS over 1100. And he fought it off. Another changeup. There's just enough off the changeup from his fastball. It's 3 or 4 miles an hour.
More movement than anything else. Not trying to get guys off speed so much, but able to miss the barrel of the bat consistently.
Another 2-2. And he left it up there. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yesterday's ball game with Bowers, 3 hits. 1 to left, 1 to center, 1 to right. Just shows he has the ability to use all fields. That's pretty scary for pitchers at times.
7th pitch coming in the at bat. And he struck him out looking. He painted a cutter on the outside corner, and Bowers is gone looking. Brewers strand 2 in the 3rd. Milwaukee Brewers baseball presented by Miller Lite. Taste you can depend on. By Potawatomi Sportsbook. Bet above the rest. And by Northwestern Mutual. Discover a better way to money at northwesternmutual.com. Stars and Stripes. America celebrating 250 years of Independence Day. That is quite the get-up.
There's a commitment there. Not getting overlooked.
First pitch to Ketel Marte is a strike with a cutter. Brandon Woodruff out there for inning number 3. The Brewers have had some chances against Merrill Kelly. He's not had that big hit. It is something that has plagued them for the last couple of weeks. Hitting 192 coming into the game over the last 15 games, hitting with runners in scoring position. Still winning a lot of ball games despite not getting a ton of hits in those situations. 1-1 to Marte. Bounced fair. No, a foul ball, says the first base umpire. Mr. Seha down that first baseline.
Looked like Vaughn was checking it for chalk.
I'm with you. It looked like that last bounce felt like it caught some chalk, but apparently not. Into right center. Out off the label. Caught by Frelick. Leadoff man retired for a 3rd straight inning for Brandon Woodruff. Played by 1 bad pitch to Adrian Del Castillo. 3-run home run in the 1st inning.
Well, since that moment, we've seen a lot more changeups. Even though that pitch was a cutter, we've seen some really good cutters since then. I think he's gone up in the zone and further away from lefties with it. But again, leaning into some of the off speed.
Perdomo. Wave and a miss. It doesn't happen very often for Perdomo. Took a called 3rd strike in the 1st inning. 1 of 3 Ks for Woodruff. There's Randy Johnson in the ballpark today.
And not taking pictures.
And a acclaimed photographer now in his post-playing career. Two away for Corbin Carroll. Is that Thunder Dan Marley behind him? Phoenix Suns. Former head coach at Grand Canyon University. He looks tired.
Very disappointed by Perdomo's fly out to left.
Corbin Carroll. Swing and a miss. Cutter up and in. We saw Randy Johnson on the pregame show today, and the look on Tim Dillard's face.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh. Randy Johnson's in the ballpark.
The big unit. Never had a chance to meet him. I've heard all the great stories. He got some big milestone one time. I was in the bullpen in Milwaukee. I forgot exactly what milestone. I'm sure it was one of his 50 that he's come up with.
One of the all-time greats in the game. Strikeouts, 300 wins. I mean, he's one of a kind. Retired number here in Arizona. Not only retired here, but also retired in Seattle. Swing and a miss. Carroll's gone on strikes. 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Woodruff. He's retired 7 in a row.
Neighborhood Chocolate Factory.
Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/Brewers, the official source for your Brewers gear.
Tons of Brewers fans down in the desert. Independence Day weekend. Brewers spring training home, of course, here in Arizona. Heart of the order coming up. Contreras, Mitchell, and Vaughn against Merrill Kelly in the 4th. Ground ball back up the middle, base hit for Contreras. Leadoff single, leadoff man on for the 2nd time in 4 innings against Kelly.
Contreras is the guy that swings first pitch more than anybody. And that's exactly what he's not waiting around for all the off-speed stuff and all the different locations that Merrill Kelly's willing to go. Gets a first pitch cutter, and he runs with it.
103 off the bat. There's Garrett Mitchell, fly to deep center back in the 2nd. Change up, turns it over for strike 1. 3 runs, nothing for this Brewers offense. They have as many multi-run innings as anybody in Major League Baseball. 3 or more runs in any given inning. Don't have to get it all back at once.
Well, I know we talk about it a lot, but that score 4 runs, 4 or more runs for the Brewers puts them at 45-7 on the season. So this is a team that knows what they can do, what their capabilities are.
Well, they're going to have to get to at least 4 to win this ball game if they don't give up another run the rest of the way. Good take at that slider down and in. 2-2 on Garrett Mitchell. Chase that changeup. Kelly with another strikeout, his 5th.
I think Merrill Kelly probably heard us talk about how he doesn't strike a lot of people out, and he took that personally. Changeup down and away. Look at the movement on this pitch. It's a strike for most of the time heading to the plate. Garrett Mitchell's hand slipped off a little bit too.
Toss to first, and back with a dive is Contreras. Season high in strikeouts is 6 for Merrill Kelly. Did that on May 9th. It's the 4th time this year he struck out 5 or more batters. Vaughn looks at a ball low. Merrill Kelly, average velocity is way up today, at least a couple of ticks on each of his pitches. Feeling good.
Well, I think anytime you can look back and you have success against a team, I think that's part of it. You feel confident going in that you can replicate that.
Let's see if Vaughn's got a green light on 3-0. Sal Frelick on deck for the Brewers. No green light, and ball 4. So tying run coming up again. And now a message from Gruber Law Offices.
Get a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Sal bounced to first base back in the 2nd inning. Yeah, right down the middle, strike 1. That was a pitch after he fouled the ball into the radio booth to Josh Mauer. Still fighting his thumb a bit. He's all right.
He's got a cup of ice over there. Little thumbs down will make it feel better.
Check swing back towards the plate area. Throw to first is in time by Del Castillo. Swinging bunt by Sal Frelick. 2nd and 3rd, 2 away. Feel like we've seen this same exact situation a ton.
No.
We had some eyes on this Josh Mauer attempted catch. So see the ball in flight.
Oh.
And I feel bad because he's falling down at the time that he's trying to make the catch.
The non-reaction of Kent Sommerfeld as all of this was taking place is probably my favorite part.
Kent was checking his stocks back there, I'm sure.
Out right on the thumb too.
Yeah, he's hurting.
Yeah.
Tried to make the play. Give him credit. I mean, Lane didn't even move.
Yeah.
See, there's Josh is still fired up. Sorry, buddy. I know. A for effort. 1-0 to Pratt. 2-0. This is when Kelly's been really tough with runners in scoring position today. The Brewers have had all kinds of opportunities. 2-0 on Cooper Pratt. 3-0.
Well, Merrill Kelly has not had the year that he's wanted. He's got the highest ERA of any other time in his career, but one thing that comes with that is a little bit of experience. He can pitch with guys on base. He can maneuver his way through traffic. We've already seen that. Think about all the young pitchers out there that the game speeds up when they're out there. We saw that in last night's game with some of the bullpen pitchers for the Diamondbacks. So for him to stay cool and calm in moments like this is a credit to what he's been able to overcome in the past.
Torre Lovello going through his lineup card. Diamondbacks bullpen is quiet. 73 pitches for Merrill Kelly, but he's 3-0 on Cooper Pratt. Fly to deep right center his first time up. And he threw him a strike on the inside corner. Threw him a cutter.
I think Del Castillo went out and said, listen, this guy's a rookie. He's not swinging at you 3-0. Throw it right down the middle.
Let's see what he comes back with on 3-1. And he walked him. They're loaded for Joey Ortiz. Stop me if you've heard that phrase before. Get a trip to the mound by the pitching coach. That's Brian Kaplan, who's on his way out to go chat with Merrill Kelly before this sequence with Joey Ortiz, who slashed his single back up the middle in the 3rd inning. 75 pitches, and this feels like a big moment for the Brewers. So far this year, 11 plate appearances for Ortiz with the bases loaded. He's 3 for 9. Last time he hit with the bases loaded was earlier this week against Cincinnati. Had a 2-run single. Remember, that was that chopper off the front of the plate. Two outs, bases full of Brewers for Ortiz. Kelly will work out of the windup. Right in there for strike 1. Liner to left. It's going to be caught by Kepler. Hit it right on the screws. But an atom ball for Joey Ortiz. The Brewers leave him loaded in the 4th. Johnson Financial Group player profile. Lowest career whip. That's walks and hits per inning pitch for a starting pitcher among active players. Jacob deGrom, Tarek Skubal, then Brandon Woodruff, followed by Chris Sale and his former teammate Corbin Burns. Not giving up a lot of hits, not giving up a lot of walks. That has continued this year as he faces Gabriel Moreno. And Moreno takes inside. He had a base hit and then scored on the 3-run homer by Del Castillo in the bottom half of inning number 1. So only scoring in the game. Only 2 hits allowed by Brandon Woodruff so far. Meanwhile, Merrill Kelly on the other side. Tonight is his 15th start. It's the first time this year that he is not allowed to run in his first 4 innings. Brewers have had plenty of opportunities, though.
Allowed 6 base runners. Nobody's crossed for the Brewers yet. Good changeup by Big Woo. You know, when you're talking about Woodruff and you're talking about the low whip, one thing that stands out this year, obviously his fastball isn't as blazing as maybe it was in the past, but right now he has the lowest ground ball percentage of his career and the highest percentage of outs in the air. So he's found a new way to pitch, a new way to get outs, which pretty much everybody on that list at some point, if you're going to pitch long enough, you're going to have to come up with a new way to get outs at times.
It's 1-2 on Moreno. And he struck him out. Went back to the changeup. That's his 5th strikeout. Let's go downstairs, check in with Sophia Moore on the last couple of starts for Brandon Woodruff.
Well, yeah, and also following last night, a short start from Kyle Harrison where he was not able to get out of the 3rd inning, and so they had to use 5 relievers to cover the win in 11 innings last night. So Pat Murphy's saying they've got a lot of confidence in handing the ball to someone like Brandon Woodruff today. He said he knows exactly what we need from him. He's just been magnificent his last 2 starts. You couldn't ask much more for him, just the way that he is pitching differently. And Murph saying, you know, we know he doesn't have all of his bullets yet, but you can see him building up within those starts. Feels like he gets stronger as the game goes on. And Tim was talking about the fastball efficiency for him, the mix of contact for him. He's also allowed the lowest average, opponent average on that pitch, just a 119 average. That's the lowest in Major League Baseball. Text Jacob Mizorowski allows a 172 average on his fastball. So they know what they need today here from Brandon Woodruff after that short start yesterday.
Yeah, thanks so much, Sophia. See Jacob Mizorowski there. For Brandon Woodruff, 57 pitches. That last one a changeup. Here's the 2-0. He threw another changeup at the top of the zone. Check the velocities here from Woodruff. His last few fastballs have only been 87 to 89. Woodruff has thrown 3 straight changeups, and another one. Del Castillo rips it foul.
That's 11 changeups in his last 18 pitches.
And William Contreras is looking into the Brewers dugout. Let's see where Woodruff goes. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Another changeup, and it just missed. And velocity just continues to dwindle for Brandon Woodruff. Remember, it was against the Diamondbacks where he had that shoulder issue. 3-2 pitch, and he struck him out. Another changeup. He did not throw a fastball, and here comes Chris Hook, and he's going to go out with Brad Epstein, and they're going to check on Woodruff.
That many changeups and the velo going down and down and down. Contreras confused. He knew something was going on. They're coming to check it out.
The last fastball he threw was the second pitch of the sequence to Moreno, and it was at 87 pitches. And for Brandon Woodruff, Chris Hook is going to take him, I believe, out of this ball game. Pat Murphy is out there as well. And Brandon is, I mean, he's going to, if he's coming out of this game, they're going to have to rip the baseball out of his hand. And he's going to come out of this game. Again, just monitoring the velocities for Brandon Woodruff over the course of his last couple of innings. It just was trending in a direction that you didn't want to see.
Well, the first 2 fastballs of the inning were to Moreno. It was 86 miles an hour, 87 miles an hour, and then after that it was all changeups. So something probably didn't feel right for Woodruff, and he just kept going with changeup over and over again.
Well, he's going to be taken out of this ball game, and the Brewers will have to rely on their bullpen yet again. So a couple of strikeouts in this inning for Woody, 6 in the game. He ends his outing retiring the last 9 that he faces, and Craig Yoho just up from AAA, replacing Joel Kuhnel on the roster, who went on the injured list before the game today. Craig Yoho will have as much time as he needs to get loose. So we'll take a quick timeout, and an unfortunate set of circumstances for the Brewers. Brandon Woodruff removed from this game after just 3 2/3. 3-0 Diamondbacks, bottom half of inning number 4. Independence Day in Arizona, and a major bit of concern here for Chris Hook and Pat Murphy, with Brandon Woodruff leaving this game in the 4th inning. As Craig Yoho is our Gruber Law Office's one call that's all called to the pen. 6th appearance for him, and again recalled from Nashville earlier today.
Yeah, his 3rd stint with the team. I mean, a guy that's pretty much conquered AAA, and now they're asking him to probably give them some length in this game after what happened for extras yesterday. Now coming in for the injured Brandon Woodruff. This is a tough assignment in the middle of this Diamondbacks order.
Well, Nolan Arenado will be the first man that he faces, coming in cold out of the bullpen and getting ready on that game mound. Yoho's going to take at least one more. Remember, it was against the Diamondbacks where Woodruff left after just an inning and a third back at the end of April. It cost him almost 2 months. Just 2+ starts back. He was brilliant in his last 2 starts, and even today, with the exception of 1 pitch.
And I mean, how gutsy. He knew something was wrong, didn't bring up anything, and just kept flipping changeups in there and got a strikeout. Like, who can do that?
He did that last time against Arizona too and got the first down in the second inning, but never threw a fastball. He just knew that there was nothing in there. Here's Arenado and turns over the changeup down and away. Arenado struck out in the first inning, and it's a fly ball into left center, not deep. Bowers and Mitchell converge. It'll be Mitchell making the catch, and Yoho comes in and gets Nolan Arenado. Go to the fifth inning. Brewers chasing 3.
Let's go places.
StatCast powered by Google Cloud. Merrill Kelly's got 5 strikeouts, all on pseudo off-speed stuff, Tim.
And he's throwing the kitchen sink, and he's moving the ball around the zone as well. Mainly, he has no strikeouts on the heater because that's what he's getting ahead with up in the zone, and then relying on that off speed. But 5 strikeouts for Merrill Kelly.
One away from his season high of 6. Turang's 2 for 2. Double, single. Brewers have had the leadoff man on twice. They've stranded 6 in the game, including the bases loaded in the 4th. Turang into right center field. That will be a base hit. Cutting it off, not going to matter. It's another double for Bryce Turang. 20th double of the year for Turang. Maybe that's the start the Brewers need.
Well, you just knew they were going to come out angry a little bit. 3rd time through the order. They've had a lot of guys on base. They haven't been able to capitalize. And what's your leadoff man do? He gets on. A very loud double into the gap. And if this ball gets by Troy, you better believe that Bryce Turang would have been floating around these bases. Content with a double. And now here comes Christian Yelich.
Grounded out twice. And a drive into right center. It's headed towards the pool. It is wet. A 2-run bomb for Christian Yelich. Someone call a lifeguard. It's 3-2.
You could feel it. Don't drive angry. They went up with a purpose in this inning. Yelich, first pitch, unleashes.
First home run for Yelich since the 17th of June. That was a leadoff homer. And this one in the pool.
Heater up. It was fading away. Del Castillo just left there wishing he had a chance to catch it. Loving the aggressive approach.
For Yelich's 6th home run of the year, and the Brewers are right back in it. Bowers now right center. Carroll on the move. He's there and makes the catch. Waist high. Maybe off the end a hair for Jake Bowers.
Well, either way, that's back-to-back at bats where suddenly if you're the Diamondbacks, you're going, okay, do we need to start getting somebody up in the bullpen? You know, because nobody really wants to go to the bullpen right now after last night's game. I would say the Diamondbacks have maybe more arms down there because they had a day off before yesterday.
Ground ball towards the middle. Perdomo off his glove. It's a base hit. Second hit for Contreras, and the tying run is on. Another loud bit of contact for the Brewers. That was 106 off the bat, and Torey Lovullo thinking about getting somebody loose.
Contreras 2 singles on 2 ground balls to center field on 2 pitches. After seeing 3 in the first inning where he struck out.
Garrett Mitchell 0 for 2, a fly out to deep center and a strikeout, and looks at ball 1. It was the changeup that struck him out in the 4th. Bullpen just starting to work for Arizona. And Mitchell to straightaway center. Troy back, still back at the wall. It's off the top of the wall. Contreras will be held at third as Garrett Mitchell nearly went out to straightaway center. It's another double for Garrett Mitchell.
I'm thinking that William Contreras maybe cost Mitchell a triple right here just because he was waiting around to see if it was going to get caught. Troy had a good run after it, but the way the dimensions are here at Chase Field, it hits off the corner of one of the balconies in center. And I think Contreras he didn't want to commit in a one-run ball game. You're in the fifth. He gets all the way to second base, but he has to wait for it actually to clank off the side before he decides to take off from second. And Mitchell's right behind him.
It's a very fortunate bounce for the Diamondbacks because it basically hit and then went straight down as opposed to caroming who knows where, as Jonathan Loaizaga starts to play catch in that bullpen for Arizona.
Well, there's now been 5 swings of the bat that have hit the ball over 97 miles an hour, 4 over 100. So definitely cause for concern in that Diamondbacks dugout.
Third time through, and we're seeing some missiles from the Brewers offense. Not that they weren't hitting the ball hard in the first 4 innings.
Yeah.
Now they're finally finding some holes. Out of the windup goes Kelly. Infield is in. And Vaughn swings and misses.
Well, Vaughn knows the assignment here. Man on third, less than 2 outs, 1-run ball game. With the infield in, you got to get something into the air, into the outfield.
0-1. Another swing and a miss. He chased the low changeup. Two-strike pitch. Vaughn has been outstanding in these situations, hitting a runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs. That's the tying run, standing at third. And he struck him out. So Vaughn with a couple of Ks against Merrill Kelly, and it's up to Sal Frelick. Frelick has grounded out twice, once to first and then once to the catcher. Another big strikeout for Merrill Kelly, matching a season high with 6 Ks. Ground ball to third. Arenado throws him out, and Kelly escapes. Christian Yelich hits a 2-run home run nearly into the pool. It was in the pool area. Lifeguard was called. It's a 1-run game as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Every Brewers RBI, Northwestern Mutual Foundation funding 5 hours equivalent to $250. Childhood cancer research. Northwestern Mutual and the Brewers proud to partner in curing childhood cancer. Christian Yelich a 2-run home run. And Craig Yoho back to work. Max Kepler is the hitter, and Kepler sends one in the air to left. Not deep for Bowers. 1 up and 1 down. It's 11 in a row set down by Brewers pitchers. Heavy workload for the Brewers bullpen last night. Chad Patrick, 3 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball. Aaron Ashby, Abner Uribe, Trevor McGill, and Grant Anderson with the last 2 innings of work to pick up the win.
8 1/3 innings they covered. Outstanding job. Last 5 games, bullpen has covered 23 innings, allowing just 2 earned runs.
Incredible work by the Brewers bullpen. They were hoping to get a lot more out of Brandon Woodruff, but leaving with an injury in the 4th inning. Vargas takes that changeup for strike 2. It's a big thing for Craig Yoho, coming in a pinch and trying to give the Brewers some length out of that pen. As you said, Tim, nothing left for him to prove at the minor league level. Ground ball to short. 2 hops for Pratt. Pats a glove and throws him out. 2 up and 2 down for Tommy Troy.
Well, Craig Yoho has all the makeups of everything that you want in a reliever. He has a good fastball with good command, an outstanding changeup that he can throw at any count. And when you get thrust into a game like this, it's really where you see where a guy can really make a mark for himself. And I just like that he's come in and thrown strikes. It is a very difficult situation to come into a game and do all the warm-up stuff on the mound where you have an umpire going, are you ready yet? Are you ready yet? I mean, it's not ideal. And for him to get the out, to come back out, get a couple of quick ones, you can see here already has 3 outs on 9 pitches. Just a testament to that young man.
There's Merrill Kelly shaking his head, not pleased with the way he ended his appearance. But he still has the lead. Went 5 innings, gave up a couple of runs, and the Brewers left a small army on the base paths. A stranded grand total of 8 so far. Fouled away by Troy. Troy bounced to short back in the 2nd inning. And he struck him out with that changeup. 3 up and 3 down against Yoho in the 5th. A big 0. See what the Brewers can do in the top half of the 6th inning.
The Home Depot.
4th of July back here at Chase Field in Arizona, and the Milwaukee Brewers are inviting Wisconsin students ages 8 through 17 to participate in the Hank Aaron What 755 Means to Me contest, commemorating the 50th anniversary of Hank Aaron's historic 750th career home run. Participants may submit an original essay or a video reflecting on Aaron's legacy of perseverance, leadership, justice, and equality. 3 winners will be recognized on the field during the Brewers' July 20th game at American Family Field. So you've got time to get those submissions in. You can go to brewers.com/Hank Aaron for more information.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Jonathan Loaizaga out of the bullpen. Face Cooper Pratt and delivers strike 1. Loaizaga worked in last night's game against the Brewers. Loaizaga went an inning and 2/3, allowed a base hit. It's up and in with a fastball at 98.
Yeah, hard fastball, the sinker, the 4-seam, also changeup, curveball, and cutter. And he uses just about everything.
Pratt takes a strike. Eight, 9, and 1 scheduled against Loaizaga in this 6th inning. Just a 1-run game. Pratt drew a walk in the 4th. Ground ball to short. Perdomo. In between innings, the Legends race featuring Randy Johnson. And Randy Johnson's in attendance tonight. He's in the lead. Is Randy going to win it? He's so excited. Look at that. The big unit wins today right in front of the human form. And he's there with a grandson. First game for the little unit. How cool is that?
Yeah, everybody be quiet. Randy Johnson's got a baby that's sleeping over there. Everybody was loud for the Legends race, but now everyone needs to simmer down.
Feels like Randy Johnson's done that a time or two. Cradle the baby in between the knees and just rock him to sleep. Just keep him there.
Like 4 feet of knees. The 6'10" Randy Johnson.
Ortiz, a chopper foul, third base side. Ortiz, maybe the at-bat of the night, came up with the bases loaded in the 4th inning and hit a rocket to left, but caught by Kepler.
Well, think about Merrill Kelly and what he was able to dodge. Bases loaded, that line drive right at Kepler. Garrett Mitchell, his double went 421 feet. It's ridiculous.
0-2, a little flare, shallow center, base hit. So a 1-out single for Ortiz. Puts on the brakes. Can we just take a moment? Remember how intense Randy Johnson was on the mound?
Oh, yeah.
And now he's got a grandson in his lap. And it's the sweetest, most tender moment ever. It's so great. That's Randy Johnson's daughter. Here's Terang, 3 for 3 on the night, including a couple of doubles. And takes a strike at 99 from Loizaga. First, and back is Ortiz. Brewers are out hitting the Diamondbacks by plenty. 9 hits for the Brewers, just 2 for Arizona. Nothing in terms of anybody getting on base for the Diamondbacks since the 1st inning. There's 3 straight base runners. Walk, single, 3-run homer. On the ground to second base. Tough to turn 2. They'll get 1. Terang safe on the fielder's choice. And now it's Yelich, who almost went swimming last time out.
Yeah, ambush. A cutter from Kelly and obliterates it in the right center. You could feel it coming. I mean, they had been dancing around, no runs yet. You could tell that the 3rd time through the order they were coming out, and they were coming out hot, swinging.
Toss to first. Terang is back. Toyota drive of the game. 5th inning, Christian Yelich, a 2-run homer. Hit off the lifeguard stand. Not all the way in the pool. Went over the pool, maybe the hot tub. He has hit one directly in the pool before. That was in 2021. Swing and a miss. The last direct pool shot, Jeremy Burnett's back in 1998.
It's incredible.
It's hard to do.
I bet it's harder to find that stat than it is to actually hit it in the pool.
Well, we have the best stat man in the history of stat men, and that is Dominic Cotroneo.
Yeah, buddy.
It's not just finding it, it's knowing where to find it. 1-1 pitch to Christian Yelich. It's low. It's back to the pool. He caught it. Right outside the hot tub. Too hot for the hot tub.
Gonna get a hot tub. Have you been in that pool?
I have not been in that pool. Have you been in that pool, Tim?
Yeah, we got in trouble. In 2011, we jumped out there. I blame John Axford. He said, let's do it anyway, even though they told us not to, and we all agreed. So the whole bullpen went out there and jumped in. Yeah, it was great. Water's nice.
2-2 pitch to Christian Yelich. And he struck him out. That's a good-looking changeup from Loizaga. Gives up the base hit, nothing else. Bottom of the 6th on the way in the desert.
Our Frederick Medical College of Wisconsin injury report checking in on Logan Henderson, who has been out since the end of May with a back injury. He was on the mound again for the Nashville Sounds tonight in a doubleheader. 3 1/3 innings for him, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts to 1 walk. The pitch count for him, 68 pitches. So he has checked the boxes of what he needs to do on that rehab assignment, guys. Pat Murphy saying that we will see him soon. Could be in St. Louis. Remember, they've got 5 games coming up there in 4 days. That'll be the next stop on this trip. They have the pitching lined up with Shane Drowan, Jacob Mizorowski in game 1 of that doubleheader. Game 2 will be to be announced, Kyle Harrison, and then to be announced for that final game, the 5th game in St. Louis.
So the Brewers have 3 of their 5 pitching assignments, at least for their starters, and depending on Brandon Woodruff's status, figure out what you do for potentially game number 1 in Pittsburgh. Those are the 3 starters that we know of. Harrison, Mizorowski, and Drowan, not necessarily in that order. Down and away on Perdomo.
Yeah, definitely think there's going to be something that changes. Maybe somebody's schedule is going to be maybe kicked into action a little sooner. But either way, I mean, the Brewers have been blessed with a lot of starting pitching this season, something that Matt Arnold must have got out ahead of, and it's paid off.
The good news for the Brewers, too, is that Logan Henderson had 2 really good appearances. Coleman Crow is going to start game 2 of the doubleheader tonight, already probably in progress for the Nashville Sounds. 1-2 to Perdomo. And he guides one to the first baseman, Vaughn. 2 away. It's 15 straight batters retired by Brewers pitching since the first inning.
And a lot of those are on changeups.
Brewers just need to find some hits with runners in scoring position. Brandon Garcia, the left-hander, is loosening for Arizona. It is ball 1 and a challenge from Contreras.
The ball, you're challenging.
ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. And he wins it.
Ball's overturned, strike 1. Milwaukee has too many challenges.
Good call by the All-Star, William Contreras.
Quick 0-2. That one went right at the public address announcer, who was wearing the bird suit. I think he made the catch.
He's wearing a glove. Josh Mauer, take lessons. Wear the glove.
It's up and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, bird's the word.
He made the play. 1-2 on Corbin Carroll. And a fly ball to right. Frelick is back on it, makes the catch. Another 3 up and 3 down inning. That's 2 1/3 innings of clean baseball from Craig Yoho. Now it's time for the USAA salute to service. On this Independence Day, we thank all of our servicemen and women all around the country, keeping us safe and protecting our freedoms. And Brewers in this 7th inning will face Brandon Garcia, left-hander, out of the Diamondbacks bullpen, and Jackson Churio will come off the bench and hit for Jake Bauers to lead it off. First pitch is a strike.
This is the lone lefty in that Diamondbacks bullpen. Pitched yesterday through an inning. Had a strikeout, nothing else.
Churio down in the count 0-2. He was 1 for 6 last night. Had the infield single in the 11th inning, which plated a run. Got another run on the air by Ryan Thompson. 0-2. A little liner down the left field line. Foul. Got out in front of a sweeper. And I believe he broke his bat. He did. How about the effort from Craig Yoho tonight? 2 1/3 innings. And nobody loosening right now in that Brewers bullpen. That may change if the Brewers tie it or take the lead. But we'll see.
Yeah, you can see that happening, but at the same time, I mean,
he's rolling.
He's rolling some shutdown innings. I mean, he picked up where Brandon Woodruff left off, where the off speed was working. The changeup has been working. 11 outs on a changeup.
Oh-2. New bat in hand and ground ball to second base. Marte broke the wrong way initially, but makes the play. 4-3 on the ground out. Now it's Contreras has singled each of his last 2 times up. Originally his last at bat in the 5th. The official score had given an error to Geraldo Perdomo. I had written it down as a base hit, like that was a clear-cut base hit, but they changed it to a single officially.
Not sure how you could give that an error. I mean, he was off balance, like kind of just threw his glove at it and it tipped off the end of his glove. Official score. No, that's an error.
I had base hit all the way.
Yeah, I didn't.
I was not going to change it.
If you hadn't have told me that, I would not have known.
Foul by Contreras. Garrett Mitchell on deck. 0-2 pitch to Contreras. Fouled away just to our right. Just short of the press box. It was headed towards Diamondbacks radio voice, Chris Garagiola. Came up short. He was not diving for it, thankfully. In the dirt. Brewers do have Abner Uribe starting to play catch in their bullpen. Here's Abner. Just some light toss. Some field maintenance there from William Contreras, the back line of that batter's box. D-backs still riding that 3-run home run from Del Castillo in the opening inning against Brandon Woodruff. Brewers got the 2-run homer from Yelich in the 5th. A slow roller to third. Arenado charging, gloving, throwing on the run. Out. He's still got it over at third base.
10 gold gloves for Nolan Arenado. That play he has made hundreds of times, running in on the ball. Watch his feet. His feet are just always moving. He comes in, he catches it, still moving, throws it, still moving. The other day they were taking infield and Merrill Kelly and Eduardo Rodriguez were just hanging out over by third base, just watching him take ground balls. I mean, it's hypnotic watching him work over there.
Can't even put it in numbers how many ground balls he's taken over the course of his career. Every day. That's base hit for Garrett Mitchell. Goes the other way against the lefty. He's 2 for 4. Tying run is on. And Vaughn gets a shot against the left-hander if that's what Torey Lovullo wants. He knows the numbers. He's got a right-hander getting loose and Juan Murillo. And he's going to ride with Garcia.
Garcia faced Vaughn in the 8th inning yesterday. And Vaughn grounded into a force out. He was pinched hit. But Garrett Mitchell had faced him and walked. So now Garrett Mitchell 1 for 1 with a walk off Garcia.
Sal Frelick on deck. Right now it's Vaughn against Garcia. Grounded foul past Matt Erickson. 10 hits now for the Brewers. They've stranded 9 men on base. Jared Koenig has joined Abner Uribe. The Brewers 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position tonight. 2-1 on Vaughn. Slow roller to third again. Checking on Arenado. Got a good bounce and throws out Vaughn by a step. Inning over. Head to the bottom of the 7th inning, and on this Independence Day, we will keep it right here for God Bless America.
Fans, we now ask that you please rise and sing along as we pay tribute to our great nation with the singing of God Bless America, performed by Chandler Police Officer Tyler Service.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Chandler Police Officer Tyler Service.
Can be.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is presented by Prevagen. Prevagen, made for your brain. And by USAA, who proudly salutes our military who made America's 250th possible. 4th of July in Arizona. America celebrating its 250th year of independence. Craig Yoho going back out there. He'll face Moreno, Del Castillo, and Arenado. We'll see what the Brewers decide to do. And Jackson Chourio takes over in left after he pinch hit for Bowers. And strike one in the outside corner. Yoho's been brilliant. Career high 3 innings as a minor leaguer back in 2024. That was with high Class A Wisconsin. 2 1/3, his longest in the big leagues. Moreno a base hit back in the 1st inning. And that one's back to the backstop.
Well, one thing you're probably going to hear from Pat Murphy when he talks about Yoho in the postgame is how many outs he gave us. Oh, he gave us 7 outs. He gave us 8 outs. He gave us 9 outs. I mean, that's how his mind works. When you start looking at 27 outs of a game, how important it is right in the middle of a game to go through this lineup a couple times.
Well, following the injury to Brandon Woodruff, too. 2 on to Moreno. And he missed outside. He's 3-1. We're here. Hi, guys. Happy 4th of July. Tim ate the big firecracker hot dog yesterday.
I did.
Ground ball to short. Pratt has it. And throws to first. Tim, you came to the ball game last night as a fan, and you were hanging out with some of the Brewers faithful, right?
Oh, yeah. You know who didn't come to the game yesterday? This guy.
I didn't. No, I didn't. We had a very high-level production meeting with our producer Brent and John Walsh, and Sophia Minute was there.
Yeah. No, it was
very
great.
high level. Your postcard didn't come in the mail yet?
Postcard. I haven't written it yet.
Well, firecracker hot dog is sitting well as Craig Yoho, his shadow is leaving this ball game. Very impressive. Jared Koenig's coming in to face Del Castillo on the other side of this break.
That's the Lunchables effect.
8 outs for Craig Yoho, clean, 1 strikeout, just 27 pitches. Arguably his best outing as a big leaguer. He gives way to Jared Koenig, who's making his 7th appearance this season. He'll face Adrian Del Castillo, who bunts foul. He had the 3-run home run in the opening inning. The only runs responsible off the bat of Del Castillo. He's the last man to reach for Arizona. He's down in the count, 0-2.
Well, I think that Pat Murphy is pulling at all the stops here. I mean, Jared Koenig, one of the guys that did not throw yesterday. He's thrown about every other day since getting activated from the inactive list.
Ground ball softly hit. Terang charges, has time, and flips to Del Castillo. Trying to say that Vaughn was off the bag, but I don't think that that is an accurate assessment from Del Castillo. Jeff Bannister not even looking at the phone to go chat with his video room. 2 away for Nolan Arenado. Strikeout, a fly out for him. Flare to shallow center. In comes Mitchell to make the catch. Koenig 2 up and 2 down. That's 19 straight retired by the Brewers pitching staff.
Minions and Monsters in theaters now.
Beth. Toyota game reset. A 3-2 Diamondbacks lead. A 3-run homer. The first by Del Castillo. Craig Yoho 2 2/3 of relief for Brandon Woodruff, who left this game with an injury. Christian Yelich has homered in this one. It's a 1-run game as Juan Murillo takes over for Arizona, and they'll face the bottom third of the order.
Good sinker slider changeup combo. Murillo went 1-2-3 in the 7th, and yeah, guess what? Pitched last night's ball game.
First pitch strike on Frelick at 99 on the inside corner. Numbers for Murillo. A lot of strikeouts, not a ton of walks. Going to have to earn it against Murillo. 1-2 on Sal. 33,000 plus at the ballpark tonight on Independence Day. Wave and a miss, and Frelick's gone on strikes. 1 away in the 8th inning. And now a quick message from Aurora Healthcare.
1, 2, 3, Brewers!
How does it feel? Amazing.
One of my best days ever.
Cooper Pratt 0 for 2 with a walk. Nothing but heat so far for Murillo.
That's a heavy fastball too. 98, 99, 100 miles an hour. Climb the ladder with Sal. Probably going to try to do that with Pratt as well.
First ball he's thrown. 1 ball and 1 strike on Cooper Pratt. The Brewers have had a base runner in every inning with the exception of the 2nd. Stranded 10 men on base. Change up at 93 for Murillo. Two-run home run by Yelich, the only runs of the game for the Brewers. Pratt will flare into shallow center. That'll dump in front of Troy for a base hit. Pratt is aboard in the 8th. Joey Ortiz hit the ball hard all 3 times. He's 2 for 3. Let's see if he can plug a gap and let Pratt run.
Well, looking at the context of this ball game, you can say, yeah, they should have had bigger hits, but to me, it's the 2 times having a man on third, less than 2 outs, and not getting them in is what's going to haunt them.
Throw to first, back is Pratt. He's perfect in the stolen base department. Wire Camp presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Line foul. Ortiz a hair late on that 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Abner Uribe back up and loosening for the Brewers in their bullpen. Yoho and Koenig getting through that 7th inning flawlessly. Again, the Diamondbacks haven't had a base runner since the first inning. Up high on Ortiz. The Brewers after dark back in Milwaukee. Ortiz ground ball to short. Double play ball. 6, 4, and 3. Go to the bottom of the 8th inning in Arizona. Brewers down by 1.
Tonight's Tavern of the Game winner is Packer Inn in Newton. If the Tavern calls the Milwaukee Brewers by 10 a.m. tomorrow, they receive 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pit. This offer is courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Lourdes Gurriel comes off the bench to hit for Kepler. Gurriel was the defensive star for Arizona last night. With Koenig staying on the mound, he'll have to face at least one batter, and it's Gurriel who takes a strike. Adbury Uribe had been getting loose last half inning, and he is taking a seat. Bottom third of the order coming up for Arizona. It's outside on Gurriel. 19 straight retired by the Brewers pitching staff going back to the first inning. Brandon Woodruff left this game after 3 2/3. Yoho got 8 outs. Koenig got the last 2 outs of the 7th. Change up away. 2 balls and a strike. Paul Sewald is loosening now for Arizona. He's their closer. And that's a base hit. First hit since the first inning for Arizona. It's the first time in the game they've had the leadoff man on. It's a big run over there at first base for Arizona.
Got a head in the count. 2-1. Got a cutter down in the zone. That's kind of his hot zone for Gurriel. And they got the leadoff man on for the first time in the entire ball game.
Vargas has grounded out twice, uses his timeout, and we will get a pinch runner for Gurriel. So that's a good day's work for Gurriel. Show up, get a base hit, and then you get pinch run for Jorge Barosa is the runner. Ildemaro Vargas puts the bat on the baseball. 3 for 5 last night with an RBI. Start of the year in a 24-game hitting streak. Barosa's got a huge lead at first. That's away. We've seen Koenig miss arm side in this inning.
Well, I believe this is the first time we've seen Koenig go in the dugout and then come back out this season. It's usually just been for 2 outs or 1 inning and done for him. So this is a new challenge in the big leagues this season.
Strike there on Vargas. Runner goes. Liner past the dive of Ortiz and into the corner. That's going to score a run. Barosa's around third. It's an RBI double for Vargas and a huge insurance run for Arizona. Putting him in motion allowed him to score from first.
Now just the 3rd extra base hit by the Diamondbacks in this series. Comes off a cutter right down the middle. And this looked a lot like the bat with Gurriel. And Vargas able to slap it down the line. We've seen the Diamondbacks pull a lot of stuff, whether it's middle, whether it's away. They are big pullers, and you can see that's why they had Barosa on first base, the pinch runner. We can see all the action unfold on the wire cam, brought to you by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Chris Hook out to chat with Jared Koenig. So back-to-back base hits by Gurriel, Vargas, and now it's Tommy Troy, the number 9 hitter. Back-to-back games with RBIs as Garrett Stallings loosens in the Brewers' pen. His big league debut a couple of days ago. Troy 0 for 2, ground out and a strikeout. Big lead for Vargas at second. Troy takes ball 1. The Brewers playing their corners in, expecting a bunt. Troy showed it. Shows again and takes inside. Pops up the bunt. Foul. So Stallings loosening. A couple of switch hitters after Tommy Troy. Ooh, strike 2 called. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and it looked like Tommy Troy was asking for a challenge, but it came too late.
Yeah, he didn't get it, so he's using his timeout. He looked back at the dugout and then turned back and started tapping his helmet. A lot of times umpires are going to say no. Not that he probably had help, but just too much time had passed. They won it within the first couple of seconds after a pitch.
2-2. Strike 3 called. Threw him a changeup at the bottom of the zone, and Koenig gets a big first out. Now a quick message from Diggers Hotline.
For 50 years, Diggers Hotline has helped protect Wisconsin residents. Contact them for free 3 or more working days before digging. Be smart. Check before you start.
Ketel Marte 0 for 3, including a line out his last time. Takes down and in. RBI double by Eldemaro Vargas in the inning. Gary Sanchez looking on. They're going to put Marte on intentionally. And set up an at-bat with Perdomo.
That could be smart. Marte way better from the right side as a switch hitter, facing lefties, batting .305. Facing righties, .252. They're going to take their chances with Perdomo. This is what's really tough about a Diamondbacks lineup. They have more switch hitters in their active roster than anyone across baseball. In fact, there's 4 teams that don't even have a switch hitter in their lineup. Diamondbacks at any time could have 4.
Sets up a double play situation. Perdomo slashes it foul. The guy who puts a ball in play more often than not, one of the toughest guys in the big leagues to strike out. Popped him up, shallow right, long run for Frelick. He's there for out number 2. Koenig gets out of this, allowing just the 1 run. That would be a job well done. The Brewers are going to be chasing at least 2 going into the 9th.
Well, very strategic by the Diamondbacks to recognize that Koenig was going back out. They knew he had to face a hitter. They run Gurriel out there, the righty, and then after that you got a bunch of switch batters. So it's really tough when you have a lineup like that to match up the best you can with the arms against the batters that you're going to face. Koenig kind of had to wear it a little bit.
Well, and also knowing availability in that Brewers bullpen.
Yeah.
1-0 to Corbin Carroll. Steal a strike there to Koenig. The Brewers in the 9th will have the top of the order scheduled. Turang, Yelich, and Chourio against Sewald. Strike 2 on Corbin Carroll. Velocity is good from Koenig. That was 96 on pitch number 23. Good bait pitch with the cutter. 2-2. Lines of foul, stays alive. That was 97 below the zone. Carroll's been tough on the Brewers, tough on the whole league, but in particular against Milwaukee. All-star with Mizorowski at the midway point. 2-2 coming back on Corbin Carroll. And he got him looking. And a challenge from Corbin Carroll. He's going to lose it. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile, and that is strike 3.
Has 1 remaining challenge.
Koenig allows the run. We go to the 9th inning, top of the order coming up for the Brewers. It'll start with Turang.
Have the meat.
First pitch swinging from Bryce Turang. He fouls it back against the closer for Arizona, Paul Sewald. 19 saves. He's squandered just 1 opportunity this year. He's back in May against Texas.
2-pitch pitcher, 4-seam fastball and the sweeper. You kind of just have to bet on one or the other. Has that low 3/4, almost sidearm angle.
See Barossa out in center. Troy slides to left. It's 0-2 on Turang, who's 3 for 4 tonight. There's the sweeper, struck him out. Christian Yelich coming up, homered back in the 5th inning. It's a 2-run shot. His 6th of the season. Aurora Healthcare play of the game. Got the Brewers back in it. Nearly into the hot tub. Here's the pitch to Yelich. Up and in. Yelich against Sewald, 0 for 8 in his career with 6 strikeouts.
Well, a couple of things. It's a guy that really knows the strike zone. He can put the ball about anywhere. And as keeping with a lot of these Diamondback pitchers. He's on the third base side of the rubber and kind of comes in at a little bit different angle.
There's that sweeper, 1-2. Struck him out. Fastball. Back-to-back Ks for Sewald. Now it's up to Jackson Chourio.
Well, you saw back-to-back sequences that were different. You saw sweeper, fastball, sweeper to Terang, and then you saw what he did to Yelich. Fastball in, sweeper, and then fastball away.
Strike one with that sweeper on Jackson Chourio. Ball foul outside of third. Chourio stays alive. Fly ball deep left. Back is Troy. It is gone for Chourio. It's a one-run game. Well, how big was that run that the Diamondbacks scored in the bottom of the 8th inning? For Chourio, that's his 13th of the year.
And that was a hanging sweeper. It didn't sweep enough, and Jackson Chourio, after swinging at a couple of them, destroys this one in the left. Brewers still down by 1, but what an impressive way to keep the hands back, and then a snapdragon attack, and he knew it. Sewald doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but this one here is a loud one.
Back to a one-run game. Second home run hit by the Brewers tonight. Contreras at the plate, 2 for 4. Just the second home run allowed on the sweeper this year by Sewald. On the ground towards the middle. Perdomo fields, throws in time, and that's your ball game. Brewers got within 1. The home run by Chourio, but Arizona evens up the series at a game apiece.
This one's going to haunt the Brewers a little bit. They had a lot of opportunities. They left 10 on base tonight, including a couple of guys on third with less than 2 outs. But one silver lining, I thought Craig Yoho was outstanding in this one. All the high leverage relievers should be rested and ready to go for tomorrow for the rubber match. To me, that's what's they're going to look forward to, the quick turnaround for the day game tomorrow.
Bryce Terang had a good night tonight, 3 hits, but it comes up short. 4-3 the final score. We will have Brewers post-game presented by Freighter, the Medical College of Wisconsin, coming up shortly. Tim and I will have coverage for you back up in the booth. So we will be back in just a moment here in the Valley of the Sun.